Hello gardeners! If you live in Florida or any hot climate, you already know the struggle. You plant your favorite traditional crops in spring, everything looks amazing, and then summer shows up, and then suddenly your garden dies off from too much heat seemingly evaporating overnight. Spinach melts, lettuce turns bitter, cilantro bolts, tomatoes stop setting fruit, cucumbers get diseased, and your zucchini gets taken out by pests. But here's the good news. Florida gardeners can absolutely grow a productive summer garden. You just have to swap out a few traditional favorites for heat-tolerant substitutes that actually thrive in our hot summer climate. So in today's video, I'm going to show you my favorite grow this, not that crops for summer. And I'm going to explain exactly why each one works, what it replaces, and how you can use it in the kitchen. And if you want more Florida planting guides like this one, make sure you subscribe because I post monthly garden guides and heat-proof growing tips all year long. All right, let's jump into it. Let's start with the number one heartbreak crop in Florida, spinach. Spinach is one of those crops that just does not want to grow during a Florida summer. The heat makes it bolt fast, the leaves get stunted in growth, and then it barely produces. The only time I'm successful growing spinach is once temperatures cool down in very late fall and winter. So if you want a near perfect spinach substitute, grow tatsoi instead. Tatsoi is an Asian green that has the same kind of tender texture as spinach. It cooks down beautifully like spinach, and it has a mild flavor that works in almost any recipe. You can saute it, add it into soup, stir fry it, mix it into eggs, or even eat it fresh when the leaves are young. And the best part is tatsoi can handle way more heat than spinach can, so it gives Florida gardeners a real chance at growing something spinach-like even when the weather starts warming up. If you love spinach, but you can't keep it alive in the summer, tatsoi is the swap you need to try. Next up, lettuce. It's easy to grow, and everyone loves a bowl of fresh lettuce for salads, but it does not grow well once things start getting consistently above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, which accounts for many months out of the year here in my Florida garden. Lettuce develops a gross bitter flavor when exposed to heat, and they quickly go to the bolting stage, or producing seed, which means it's at the end of its life cycle. So instead of forcing lettuce, I recommend switching to tropical greens. These are leafy greens that actually thrive in heat and humidity, and many are perennial, so once established, they can feed you for many years. My favorites that make great substitutes for lettuce and can be eaten raw like lettuce include longevity spinach, moringa, Okinawan spinach, katuk, seashell spinach, Florida cranberry hibiscus, New Zealand spinach, and Lago spinach. And I also love Malabar spinach, but harvest the leaves while very young so they don't develop a mucus-like texture when you're eating it raw. Usually I go around my garden and harvest a little bit from each of these different kinds of plants to make my own tropical greens salad mix. I have a recipe video showing how I make a Cobb salad out of all of these greens, which I will link in the description so you can see what I mean. None of these taste bitter, peppery, or have a tough texture when consumed raw. These greens are perfect for Florida gardeners because they don't just survive summer, they thrive. So if you want leafy greens during the hottest months, stop fighting lettuce and start planting tropical greens instead. I have plants or seeds for just about all of them over on my website, so I'll just link them all below. Now let's talk about cilantro. Cilantro is another crop that Florida gardeners struggle with because it bolts so fast in the heat. One day it looks perfect, and then the next day it's flowering and just going to seed. So if you want that bold, fresh cilantro-like flavor, but you want a plant that can handle heat, grow papalo. Papalo is a heat-loving herb that gives you a strong cilantro-like, fresh flavor that works amazing in salsa, tacos, beans, and rice dishes. And unlike cilantro, it's not in a rush to bolt the second temperatures start rising. Plants thrive even in the middle of summer, producing a massive amount of fragrant, delicious leaves. So if cilantro always fails you in warm weather, papalo is the summer upgrade. I have a full YouTube video tutorial all about how to grow papalo, which I will link in the description so y'all can learn more about this lesser known plant. Now let's talk about tomatoes for a little bit. One of the biggest errors Florida and hot climate gardeners make is treating tomatoes like a summer crop. Tomatoes have problems producing a harvest in high heat conditions. The flowers die off, drop, or simply don't get pollinated properly. This means you won't get a harvest, even if the plant manages to survive all of the pests and diseases. If this is what you have experienced when trying to grow tomatoes during the summer, don't do it. Grow them in the fall and spring instead. If you want something to make salsa and that handles the heat better, grow tomatillos instead. Tomatillos are in the tomato family, but they're much more reliable in warm climates, and they give you that tangy flavor that makes salsa taste bright and fresh. They also produce like crazy once they get going. But one very important thing to note about tomatillos, you need at least 2 tomatillo plants so they can cross-pollinate with each other, or you won't get any fruit. Just plant them right next to each other. If you love making homemade salsa, tomatillos are one of the best Florida-friendly crops that you can grow. And speaking of tomatoes, I have to mention one of my absolute favorites for Florida gardeners, the Everglades tomato. If you've never grown them, Everglades tomatoes are a true Florida native tomato that thrives in heat, humidity, and even drought with very little effort. They grow like a wild, productive tomato bush, they reseed easily, and they produce tons of tiny, flavorful tomatoes for months. So if you want tomatoes that actually perform during the summer, Everglades tomatoes are one of the best choices you can make. There are 2 cultivars, one is red and the other is yellow. I offer seeds and sometimes plants for them over on my website. They're perfect for salads, snacking, and fresh eating, and you can even use them to make tomato sauce when you have a big enough harvest. Now let's talk about zucchini. Zucchini is one of those crops that gardeners love, but it can be a struggle to grow them during the summer because they attract so many pests and diseases. They also shut down growing and producing in high heat conditions. So if your zucchini plants always get taken out in your garden during the summer, I want you to try growing loofah or bottle gourd instead. Loofah is primarily grown to harvest mature gourds and use their sponges as natural cleaning supplies around the house or to make into exfoliating soap bars. That's what we like to do with them. But did you know you can harvest the gourds when they are still green and very young, like under 8 inches, and eat it just like a summer squash? They taste very mild and have a similar texture to zucchini, except loofah grows fantastic straight through a hot and tropical summer. Bottle gourd is another amazing option. It's productive, heat tolerant, and it can be cooked in a lot of the same ways you would use regular zucchini. These are both great swaps because they give you that same squash harvest type feel during the summer, but with way better heat tolerance. Next up, green beans. A lot of gardeners don't realize this, but regular green beans, which are considered a warm season crop, do not like extreme heat. Once things get consistently over 85 degrees Fahrenheit, they stop producing. Therefore, I will plant my regular green bean crops like bush or pole beans super early in the year while the temperatures are still warm but not extreme. Then, after I'm done harvesting, I switch to super tropical legume crops that will continue producing straight through the summer. My favorite for something similar in taste and texture to green beans are yard-long beans, also called noodle or asparagus beans. Yard-long beans love heat, they grow fast, they produce heavily, and they keep going when other beans slow down. You can cook them like regular green beans, stir-fry them, saute them, or throw them into soups. They're one of the best summer legumes for Florida gardeners because they thrive exactly when other crops are struggling. Now let's talk about potatoes. Traditional potatoes do not grow well in the heat. It causes them to mature way too early before they have a chance to size up into a decent harvest. Plus, all the pests and diseases will go crazy for any potatoes you might have growing in your garden during the summer. They are pest magnets. So save regular potatoes for growing during the fall and very early spring, and grow sweet potatoes or yucca, also called cassava, to have some sort of a starchy root crop harvest during the summer that is similar to potatoes. Sweet potatoes love heat, they're easy to grow, and they produce a big harvest with very little maintenance once they get established. Plus, sweet potato leaves are edible too, so you're getting food from the vines and the tubers. And another great tropical substitute is yucca, which I mentioned earlier. Yucca is a staple crop in tropical climates. It's drought tolerant, heat tolerant, and once it's mature, you harvest the roots and cook them just like you would with potatoes. So if potatoes don't work well for you in Florida, sweet potatoes and yucca are your heat-proof upgrades. Now let's talk cucumbers. Cucumbers can be difficult in Florida summer because they're prone to pests and diseases, especially when humidity is super high. So one of my favorite cucumber swaps is the Indian snake cucumber, also called cocti. It is actually botanically classified as a melon, but it grows very long fruits that have the same texture and flavor as a cucumber. In fact, if you were to taste test some while blindfolded, you would say it was a cucumber. It's nearly identical. It grows long, it stays crisp, and it has that refreshing cucumber texture that makes it perfect for slicing and eating fresh. And because it's better adapted to heat, it can be a much easier cucumber option for Florida gardeners compared to standard cucumbers. This one is a must grow for me every single summer. It guarantees I can harvest something cucumber-like even in the middle of July, which says a lot. Now let's talk fruit substitutes because there are quite a few tropical versions that are great substitutes for some of the more traditional fruits that will only grow in cold climates. First up, cranberry. Cranberries don't grow well in Florida at all because they actually require a certain amount of cold in order for them to produce that we simply do not get in Florida. If you want a cranberry-like substitute that grows beautifully in heat, grow roselle. Roselle is the plant used to make hibiscus tea, and the calices have a tart, fruity flavor that's very similar to cranberry. You can make tea, juice, syrup, jam, and even a cranberry-style sauce with it. The majority of roselle cultivars start producing in fall, but you need to plant them during the summer so they have plenty of time to grow into huge, big, bushy plants by the time fall arrives and they start producing. The bigger the plants are by this point, the bigger your harvest is going to be. Next is cherries. Traditional cherries are not a Florida crop. Just like with cranberries, cherry trees need a certain amount of winter cold, called cold chill hours, to produce. But if you want a cherry-like fruit that thrives in Florida, grow Barbados cherry. Barbados cherry is a tropical fruiting plant that produces small red cherries that look just like regular cherries, except they're brighter red in color, and it's especially known for being extremely high in vitamin C. They have a sweet flavor and taste like fruit punch, in my opinion. If you thought you tried some Barbados cherry before, but they were sour in flavor, be careful. You probably had another similar looking tropical cherry called Suriname cherry instead. A lot of people confuse the two. Barbados cherries are always sweet. It's productive, heat tolerant, and it's a beautiful edible landscaping plant too. They produce multiple flushes of a cherry harvest from spring through fall. So if you've always wanted cherries, but you garden in Florida, Barbados cherry is the swap. Now let's talk grapes. Traditional table grapes can be difficult in Florida because humidity and disease pressure just kill the plants off. So if you want grapes that actually thrive here, grow muscadine grapes. Muscadines are made for the South and growing in hot climates. They're tough, heat tolerant, humidity tolerant, and they produce heavily once established. Just one mature vine easily produces over 30 pounds of fruit per year. They're also one of the easiest fruiting vines for Florida gardeners, and you can eat them fresh or use them for juice, jelly, or for making wine. There has been a lot of new muscadine grape cultivars that are very similar to table grapes, like one called Blanc du Bois, or at least varieties that have thinner skins with less bitterness to them, so much so that they can be eaten fresh just like regular table grapes. And if you've ever tried growing raspberries in Florida, you know it can be difficult. They also typically require a certain period of exposure to cold winter temperatures in order to produce, just like cranberries and cherries. So instead, grow Mysore raspberries. Mysore raspberry is a tropical raspberry substitute that handles heat much better, and once established, it can produce a lot of berries with very minimal effort and care on your part. The berries have a blackish blue type of color to them, and the flavor is kind of like a mix between a blackberry and a raspberry. It's a perennial crop that once established will produce a ton. It's a great option for Florida gardeners who want that berry harvest without needing cold winters. So if you're a Florida or hot climate gardener, the secret to growing food through summer is not forcing cool season crops to survive the heat. The secret is choosing heat tolerant substitutes that give you the same flavors, the same kitchen uses, and way less stress in the garden. If you enjoyed this Grow This Not That Florida edition, give this video a big thumbs up. That helps out my channel more than you know. Consider subscribing for more hot climate gardening tips, and comment below on any other heat tolerant veggie substitutes you have found for your garden. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy gardening.